In this video, I'm going to show you how to integrate Gemini into a Django and React full stack application. Previously, in the last video, I built a chat app using Django, React, and GPT-4. So here is an AI application that is powered by GPT-4. So right now in this video, I want to show you how to integrate Gemini, how to use Gemini and not GPT-4. So currently, I passed the prompt. I asked top 20 programming languages with emojis. It gave me the top 20. So right now, I asked it now the top 5. It gave me the top 5. So right now, I'm going to ask it the top 1. Let me just copy this same prompt and then paste it here. Top 1. Let's see. I guess it's gonna give me JavaScript. So let's send. So right now you can see it says the top programming language is JavaScript, right? So currently this is powered by GPT-4. So this the aim of this video is to show you how to integrate Gemini instead. You understand? So in the last video, I built up this entire system from scratch. So this video is to show you how to switch from GPT-4 to Gemini. So without further ado, let's get started. So right now, let's integrate Gemini into the project. Understand? So back here, I'm going to go over to the browser. I'm going to search for ai.google. So let's look up. So right now, I want to configure Gemini. So Gemini is coming from Google. Why GPT-4 comes from OpenAI? They are both fantastic AI models. So right now, let's configure Gemini into the project, right? So back here, click on build. So once you're on this page now, click on view Gemini API docs. Click on this link, view Gemini AI docs. So let's wait for it to load up. Yeah, so we are here now, we're on the page. Yeah, so on the sidebar, click on quick starts. We want to get our API key. And one thing about Gemini, you don't even have to log in to get your API key. It's as easy as ABC. But before we proceed, okay, click on this link here. Look at what it says before you begin, you need the Gemini API key. So click on this link, get it for free. Click on this. So right now we are trying to integrate Gemini. So click here, create API key. Click on the button on top. API key. I already created an API key previously. I think that was preventing me from creating a new one. I already created one previously. So I think I'll copy this. Yeah, copy this. I already created one previously. So as for you, if this is your first time if this is your first time, click this button is going to help you create a new API key. But for me, I already created mine previously. I can simply access it from here. So I'll put in my API key now. So back to where we came from. Click on the back arrow. Yeah, so right now we have to save our API key in our environment variables. So I'm going to go over to my Django project now. So Django now, click on .env. So I'm going to add a new API key. So right now this is my OpenAI API key. So right now we are trying to switch from OpenAI to Google because GPT-4 comes from OpenAI, Gemini comes from Google. So I'll just comment this out. So this has to be the name. Gemini underscore API underscore key. It must be that name. So I'm going to say Gemini underscore API underscore key, then equal to the API key. Here's my API key. So you have to go create your own because mine, after this video, I'm going to delete my API key. So go create your own. You can't use my you get. So right now, it's my API key. So what's the next step now? So it says now we have to install Google Gen AI. So copy this back to your Django project. Make sure you have your virtual environment activated. So open a new command prompt. So and then I'll paste this command to help me install Gen AI, right? Google Gen AI. So that's what we need to do. And now once you've gotten that, I can see yes, these are some examples on how you can make your request to Gemini's model, right? So he's giving us some examples. So I recommend you read through this page, read through it now. So once we are done here, we've gotten our API key, we've had to install Google Gen AI. once you've tried to install this, I think we are done on the quick start page. So what next? Scroll down and click on text generation. So right now I want to go see how to how to write the code to get responses from Gemini's model. Understand? So right now let's work on that. So right now we are currently on text generation. You can see this how to prompt Gemini. First of all, we have to import Google from Gen AI. So back to our code in our views.py, the views.py file. Currently that should be in promptify underscore app, then views.py. So in the previous video, I made a full course on how to build this from scratch. So right now I'm just trying to replace GPT-4 with Gemini. You understand? So right now we have to import Google, and also one last thing, you also have to add this line clients equal to genai.clients. So I'm going to replace this one from OpenAI. Let's just comment it, and then we'll add this. Yeah, so now we have this now from what's it called? From Google, from Gemini, right? So one more thing, back to our settings.py file, back to your settings.py. So remember, if you're part of the last video, we had to do this for the OpenAI API key. But right now we are going to replace this with Gemini's key. So I'll paste this here and I'll comment this line out. So currently our Gemini keys now is instead of that is stored in the env file, and the name is called Gemini underscore API underscore key. So I'm going to use the same name in a sense. So I'm going to replace this now with Gemini underscore API underscore key, as well as this. So back to our code now. So right now we've added our API key to the env file, and right now we have access to our API key in the settings.py file. And back to the views.py, you have to make sure you get Google from Gen AI. So right now let's remove OpenAI. We don't need OpenAI now. So you have to make sure you get Google from Gen AI, and you also have to add this client, because it is this client that gets the API key. So you must add this, very, very important. So right now, let me just make this a bit smaller. So right now, over here, we are trying to send a request to GPT-4 to help us generate our title, to help us generate a title for our prompts. So this view helps us create a title for the prompt. For example, here, right now you can see I asked top 20 programming languages. So this view, the view I showed you previously, helps us create a title. The title is what we have here. That's the title we have here. So we have to tell GPT-4 to, based on what the user prompted, generate a title. You can see here it says give a short descriptive title for this conversation in not more than 5 words. So we prompted GPT-4 for this. So right now we are going to use Gemini instead. So over here, back here, you can see here's how Gemini is. You can see we have to have the response equal to client.models or generate content, and then the model is Gemini 2.5 Flash. And right now we're going to pass in the prompt here, and then we're going to get our response through response.text. So right now I'm going to show you the let's convert this now to Gemini's equivalent. So it's simple. Back here, I'm going to just copy the code because I've built this before from scratch. So if you missed the part where I built this from scratch using Django, React, and GPT-4, you can watch the previous video on the channel, or I'm going to link it down in this video's description. So right now, so back to my views.py file, I'm going to get, because so before I made this video, I have to do some findings, I have to do some research, and I have to test it before making the video. So right now, here is Gemini's equivalent, right? You can, let me just copy this back here, so I can comment this out. So right here we are using, this is from, so right now this is from GPT-4, right? The model is GPT-4. So right now we are switching from this to Gemini. So here Gemini is equivalent. You can see it's similar to it is similar to what we have here. The model Gemini 2.5 Flash. It says client.model generates content, right? And then we have the same thing here, right? And then here is the prompt I had to pass, and over here we have to get the response from Gemini, and the does strip there helps us to remove any white space around the title. So right now we have switched from using GPT-4 to now using Gemini to generate our title. So right now here is where the real work happens. Yes, this is where this is the function that helps us to prompt the AI model. So currently we are using GPT-4 here. Want to switch to using Gemini. So it is slightly different. You understand? So what I recommend, I'm not gonna go over the video again. I'm not gonna explain this all over again. So my aim is to show you how to switch from GPT-4 to Gemini. So if you didn't watch the video, you can go and watch the previous video where I built this from scratch, where I explained everything to you guys step by step. But in this video, I want to show you how we can switch from OpenAI to Google. GPT-4 comes from OpenAI, while Gemini comes from Google, right? So right now we've called this prompt Gemini. So currently, I'll just copy the code from here. Let's copy the code from back here. So let me copy this, and then we're going to replace what we have there. Control C. Then I'll replace this. Don't worry, you're going to have the source code in the video description, so you can see how it works. So right now we have switched from using GPT-4 to Gemini. So here is where the actual work happens. Here, this is the function that helps to prompt the AI model and then get a response from it back. Understand? So here is where it happens. So for you to know what is happening here, for you to get what I did here, you can go watch the previous video. So that's where I explained everything from scratch. This video is to show you how to switch from GPT-4 to Gemini. So we are not done yet. So right now we are now using Gemini Flash. Right, it is quite different from GPT-4, because in GPT-4 the role is meant to be assistant, the model role. But with Gemini, the role is called model. You understand? So they are quite different. You understand? So now this should work fine. So right now the function is called prompt Gemini. So I'm going to go back to my URLs, and that should be in the urls.py file. I'm going to call this prompt Gemini, not prompt GPT anymore. Prompt Gemini. So if you've not seen the previous video, here is a video here. This time where we built the entire application from scratch, right? You can go check it out. This is powered by GPT-4. But currently we are migrating from GPT-4 to Gemini. Hope you understand. So back here, I've changed the model. So I've changed the URLs. It's now called prompt Gemini. That's more of the views. I've changed it now, right? So back to our URLs.py, back to our models. So over here, I'm going to just copy this, because GPT-4 uses assistant, but Gemini uses model. So I will change this. I will change assistant to model. Sorry, Control Z. Let's highlight this, Control D, and yeah, model. So, and then we have to make migrations. Whenever you tamper with your model, don't forget to migrate. So we switch from assistant to model, because assistant works with GPT-4, model works with Gemini, right? So we've got this done. So what's the next thing? So back to the front end. So right now, all these changes are, so all we've done so far on the back end. So back to the front end now, nothing serious. Back here, so in the source folder, in the component, then over to pages, and then home page. So in the previous video, I taught everything from scratch. So back here, what we are going to do is simple. Wherever we see assistants, you have to change it. You have to switch to model. So from here, I'm just going to copy this, just select it, Control D. So wherever you see assistants, so I'm using Control D to pick up all assistants I find on the page. So I'm going to switch to modal because that's what Gemini understands, right? So it's now modal. Yeah, so I think we are good now. So back to the document, back to the documentation. So over here, these are you pass a single prompt to Gemini, a single prompt. But let's say you want to have a conversation, you want to talk, want to speak, want to have a conversation, you want to ask Gemini questions. It replies you. You ask another question relating to the previous question you asked. You want to have a real conversation. This is here is how it was configured for conversations. It is called multi-turn conversation. So it has a different approach in a sense to the first one, to the first example they showed you. They have in a sense, it has a different approach. So here's how we use it. You pass in the model and then you pass in the chat history, your chat history. So if you check out Java, so back here in the code, I showed you how it is being done. If you check closely, you have to pass in the model, then the chat history. Here's the Gemini history we have here. This is the previous chat we've had. This is this. So right now to just go and get our previous chats, you understand, and then pass it over here. It's not difficult, right? It's not difficult. If you check out JavaScript example, you can see how it is being explained. If you check out the JavaScript example, it is more explicit, it is explained better in JavaScript than in Python. But don't worry, I already gave you guys the code. I already gave you guys the code, so you can check out what I did here and you get to know what is happening. So right now we have, I think we are good to go now. Let's test what we've done so far. Back here, I'm going to refresh the page. I really hope everything works. Okay guys, so right now we have switched from GPT-4 to Gemini, you understand? So it's time for us to test and see if it's actually working. So back here, I'm going to start afresh. I'm going to ask a new question. I'll ask, what AI model is this? What AI model is this? I really hope we get a response. Hit enter. Okay, so right now, I think it didn't work. It tried an error. I know why. I think I know why. I think I know what the problem is. So I have to go over to let's go over to the database and clear out the previous chart we have there, because the previous chart we have there is not in the right structure. It's not in the structure Gemini wants it to be. So I have to go over to the database and then clear out our previous chart and then try again. And I hope it works this time. So I'm going to clear out the previous chart we've had from GPT-4 because they come in two different structures. So I'll clear them out. So I hope this really works. So these are all what I've asked the previous model. Okay, so right now I've cleared out the database so that we can have the right structure of data that Gemini expects from us. So right now I'm going to ask it, what AI model is this? What AI model? Because what AI model is this? Its answer. Now, its answer, it said, I am a large language model trained by Google. I'm going to ask, what is your name? What is your name? Or so it says, I do not have a name. You can see it's very fast. It says, I am a large language model trained by Google. Let me just say, I thought your name is Gemini. I thought your name is Gemini. Let's see what I was going to say. It's faster than GPT-4 in a sense. So you can see now it says that's a common point of confusion. While I am, you can see it says, while I am part of the family of models that Google calls Gemini, it says Gemini refers to a series or project name. So Gemini is like a group name. It's not right. I'm going to ask it Gemini versus GPT-4. Let's see. Let's hear what it is going to say. Right now, it gave me a whole lot of information. That's nice. So I'm going to ask this question again. Top 3 programming languages. Top 3 programming languages. Let me just say with emojis. You know, emojis makes it finer. You can see how beautiful it came out. Top 3 programming languages. It said JavaScript. It says Python, JavaScript, and Swift. Let me just say top 1. Mention top 1 programming language. Let's get the response. Because this is beautiful, right? So I think I love Gemini. I'm going to use Gemini more because number one, it's very easy to get the API key. You understand? And easy to right now. Gemini says Python is the number 1 programming language. That's what Gemini says. Says why? GPT-4 says JavaScript is the number 1 programming language in the world. So Gemini says Python. GPT-4 says Gemini says Python, GPT-4 says JavaScript. So you can see it's interesting. So as for me, I'm going to stick more with Gemini. I love this. It looks so good. So I just show you how you can migrate from GPT-4 to Gemini. So if you watch a previous video, you can easily migrate to Gemini. You understand? It has a faster and a better, and I don't know, but I think it's faster. I love the rest, but I'm going to use Gemini more to build more AI apps on this channel. You understand? So thank you for watching. You're going to have the source code in this video description. So like the video and subscribe. See you again in the next video. Bye bye.